Fast 9 as well. So it's a chance we'll be seeing a lot more Fast 9 in this game.
Well, I'm pumped.
Robin didn't find a bow, so actually sold his Gnar 2 right there. Gnar 2 with that with extra gold is like the best start if you can get a Gambler's Blade. So a lot of players will be holding on to that.
First augment in this game is going to be gold. I already see the Knuckle Dusters augment. I think hero augments, while maybe, I actually wonder what you guys think about the power level in a lobby type like Scuttle Puddle.
I think Vi in particular, if you're able to snowball hitting an early 3-star Vi, it can scale easily into the late game and can really contest the Fast 9 comps. The only problem is there's a huge target on your back.
Oh, we actually got YFTX that selected Hit the Bell.
Ring the bell.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Heavyweights is going to be on the menu for this game 1 as well.
Oh my goodness.
Pretty interesting one. Unless you already have the Darius, you don't really see people pick that. It's considered a bit of a weaker combat augment. Whenever it's gold, though, the first thing I'm looking across the lobby is who is the Double Trouble player.
Yep.
Well, we don't have one, but we do have a worth the wait player. Lakoko did pick that, so we'll have to find out what champion that's going to give you. But we also got aura farming from Bensack, and so that's going to be a 2-star legendary waiting in the wings.
Ooh, I'm so excited to see which one he actually got right there. If you get the Lee Sin, it makes a huge difference. If you get the Gwen, you're a little bit sadder. But they open up very different lines. And this is the start I was talking about, Gambler's Blade with Gnar. If you can hit the Shadow Clone on it, a lot of players will reroll for that specifically. It's a huge gold boost, especially in this Scuttle Puddle lobby.
It's one of those high-value, high-tempo ways to make it to 9 from a comfortable position, especially if you can win streak. And I think YBY is definitely one of the players that can definitely do that in stage 2 and 3. Looking at Bensack, we did see the Zyra as his aura farming option. Small nerfs to Crystal Gambit. Zyra, I think, is a fairly flexible 5-cost, so you don't necessarily have to fit into her vertical line on stage 4. And really, aura farming, the main idea is you can't just lose streak all of stage 2 and 3 and then hope Zyra 2 will bail you out. You have to try and preserve HP where you can and just allow that natural spike to happen when Zyra 2 comes online.
I mean, but that's why, like, Bensack is actually holding on to Bastion units. Like, there's already a Garen 2, but you can have the option to pivot to Crystal Gambit if you wanted to put that package in. But you're missing a Crystal Gambit unit to actually activate that trait for now.
Yeah, I think a lot of players are just going to be default going for that Bastion Legendaries. It is considered the strongest Fast 9 compared to something like Juggernaut or the Strategist Varus that is just so much more expensive. With Bensack already having a 5-cost carry there and this Scuttle, it has to be a Fast 9 angle.
Misses Crystal Gambit yet again, but gets the sniper in for the Gnar. And again, key thing, preserve HP at the very least. If you're going to lose streak, kill units every single round, because you really do not want to cash out the aura farming on 4-3 on just 1 life, because there's going to be other high roll players who are able to go 9, who are going to have a very, very strong board, the Grim Reaper style board in stage 4 and 5, and you can't, I think, go down to only 1 life in stage 4.
Oh, and we do have pumping up coming in from Ironbog right here. This is typically known as a bit of a Jinx augment, so we'll see if he goes into that direction. The attack speed and the gather force just makes it so much powerful. And this is Ironbog's preferred style. He actually likes to win streak very, very heavily early and then go for the Fast 9. This is the safer way to do it rather than like the lose streak and aura farming. I actually consider this as a bit of a better spot going into it.
With the stage 2 carousel, we could see some key pickups here in terms of maybe Crystal Gambit available for Bensack, who has been angling for it with his bench for now.
Oh, and we're going to get a look at what all these players have on their board so far. Lakoko looks like he's going to be going for Drift Duo as well with that worth the wait. We saw the combination there with the Lucian and Senna online. And for the 3-cost here, you're typically looking for something like the Swain. It has triple traits and crystal inside, but so far not really seeing that.
I'm curious to see what we see from YFTX with Ring the Bell. I think Heavyweights has a few different options when it comes to your backline. If you have 80 items, you can play for Smolder. I think Malzahar is usually the default, but like you mentioned, I think Darius is probably the key in terms of really getting the value from the extra Ascension-like proc and the extra damage as well, not just survivability.
But I saw that open tier, so I feel like there is a bit of a possibility to actually get that blue buff that you would want for the Malzahar. And then the open glove too. I'm like, ooh, it could either be a dual gauntlet or maybe you make something else for the Rage Blade.
Really interesting here from YFTX, not using his power-up. So really angling for the 5 loss. Power-up has not been, slide onto any unit for now. And also maybe optimizing his power-up removers, waiting for that Darius, waiting for that Malzahar.
Yeah, I really like his angle. It's going to be a 3-5 roll down right here. The thing is, I think this is kind of a forced spot. You know, you would really prefer an early econ augment rather than just kind of showing your hand and having to bet that the Darius is going to come.
Well, we did see Terry pick calculated loss. So I'm curious to know your thoughts about kind of where that's going to fit into the lobby tempo. I feel like that's always so risky to want to take something that you know you have to take losses for.
Yeah, whenever you're having something like that, you want to hit the Crystal Gambit early. That's going to be a first thing to kind of look for. And you're not going to go for a big cash out. It's just small cash out, preserve some HP, and then just start pivoting into the level 8 boards, I would say.
Maybe even fits into just playing Crystal Gambit as a whole coming to stage 4 because you have all these extra rolls to try and guarantee to have a stable board where you can start getting the extra resources from the 5 Crystal Gambit cash outs instead throughout all of stage 4 and 5.
Ooh, look at that, though. We've got the Crystal Gambit in. The Gambler's Blade, though, where do you feel like that's going to be the best for the late game? Who are you going to give that to?
This is getting reforged, most likely, coming into stage 4 and 5. This is one of the big things with the econ-generating artifacts. If you have a Reforger, have access to one before stage 4, it's a huge upside. And there's an RNG element, right? You can get anything pretty much from that Reforge. If you had
could be better,
sometimes
could be worse.
We've seen these crazy hits, the 1 in 30 chance. It can really take over the game in stage 4.
Really easy 5 streak for Ironbog here. I'm wondering what happens between YFTX and Terry. Do they run into each other? We saw YFTX purposely making his board a lot weaker, even selling his Jace to go below. So if he can grief Terry, that would be a great win for his strategy. But no, he actually picks up the win.
No, I'm saying I think like Terry, they must have faced each other then, and Terry was the one that actually was able to keep that 5 loss streak.
Which is a big deal, of course, the extra gold you're getting, the extra rolls you're getting. I'm curious to see what Terry ends up committing to, if it is going to be the Crystal Gambits. Considering that we are on Scuttle Puddle, right, you're going to have a lot more gold to work with after the Stage 3 PvE round. Usually with calculated loss, you can't really go fast 9. You'd lose too much HP in the process.
And I'm pretty sure I know where Terry is going with these items right here. He already naturaled the Leona on 5. A great start ahead for Bastion Legendaries. Has the Fast 9 Econ prepared for that as well. And the cool thing about Bastion Legendary is that Seraphine can use the Infinity Edge. Even though she's a mage, she doesn't care if it's AP or AD.
We see Terry not pumping, not pre-leveling at all, maybe staying open to the fact that he can hit something around the 3-2 augment in particular, around Golden Quest maybe, around... I guess forward thing would be the opposite. You'd want to pump beforehand. So just Terry, I think, optimizing for what this 3-2 augment could look like.
And for Coco, we're going to get the answer on what his worth the wait is. It is going to be Zach. I thought it was going to be Lucian, which leads into potentially the strongest line possible here in the Drift duo. It's averaging like in the 2s in terms of scrims. But Zach, I think, is a little bit more awkward. So we might see a collision course between these heavyweight lines.
And this is one of those times where you pick your augments, there's some random element to it, and then you start scouting and you see that someone is already hard committing to your line as well with the Ring the Bell that we saw from YFTX. So I think the Coco, we mentioned it, he is the one player that has played all these different lines, knows all these different optimizations as well.
And this is going to be a pivotal round for Robin Songs because he's angling for Janna reroll. He already has Treasure Hunt. It's best with 2 costs, but he hasn't found a Janna yet. He's built his items. He has the Jarvan, but no Janna. Can he actually start stabilizing on stage 3? If you don't win on stage 3, it's really hard.
We do see gold augments on 3-2 as well. Some players will go for full econ with the benefit of Scuttle Puddle. I think that can definitely get you to level 9. Other players maybe playing more for tempo, playing for HP preservation here. Crown of Demacia for Robin Songs and a Janna too. So potentially a stabilization point here. And this is the key thing for Robin. You want to stabilize using your rolls potentially for this stage, but you don't want to have to commit too much gold because you need more gold to proc Treasure Hunt every single stage going forward.
So looking at his gold, this is not a very good situation for Robin. He had to roll down to 10 to just hit that Janna 2, and he's still a ways off from his I believe, I'm not sure, but I think he probably used his Nikos here.
The thing is, with Scuttle Puddle, you're going to have the extra resources to proc Tetraphan, I think, regardless, in Stage 4, right?
Yeah, with the amount of gold that he spent 26 gold on roll, so he did get his first treasure hunt cash out. And because he doesn't have a spat, that means he actually had to use his lesser duplicators just for the Janna 2. This is, I would consider it a bit of a low roll.
3-item Janna 2, though, should be able to smurf most of the Stage 3, especially with a lot of players angling more towards a loose streak, with the Cockloss player, for example, and players, I think, taking a pretty low tempo for Stage 3. And this is Robin's style, right? The Robin style is playing high tempo, preserving HP, angling for more of a top 4 with Janna reroll, but having a clean, consistent game for the first start of the tournament.
Robin Songs took the crown he couldn't take during the walkout.
He tried, though. I will give him that.
He tried, and I almost lost it.
We're going to have another big roll down here because YFTX has not found the most important person to the show here. Darius has not shown up. He has the Kaisa too. And if I'm looking at his tempo and his HP, he has to roll down on 3-5. It's going to be a big determinant, especially with Lakoko already on that Zac 3.
So Clement, we know JG is the CN Tech in Stage 2. Is BT Kaisa the CN Tech in Stage 3?
I've never seen it, sorry.
Hear me out. If you get jumped on by something, then the Kaisa gets to heal with some, you know, Omnivamp.
I'm sure Twitch chat will enjoy typing BT diff at the end of any of these fights.
Hang on, though. It might be a BT diff. Let's see if this Wayne can hold on.
I think for YBY1, he hopes it is a BT diff because he has doubled down already with Crystal Gambit. Usually we see a player with Gambler's Blade and Nar2 play for more of a full win streak Stage 2 and 3, and then Crystal Gambit on Stage 4, but YBY1 slotting in a little bit early now.
Really huge pickup here for Robin Songs. There is a rise on the carousel that would fit into his 4 mentors here. Let's see if he can actually find it, and it's also just going to give him a glove. He's still missing that JG that he wants on the Janna, and he gets it. Great find for Citadel. On the other hand, the forecast, I think the Samira is the other big pickup. I think Terry would love that. He already has the Infinity Edge, already has the Leona, would go well there. Seeing if he actually did manage to hit that. I believe so.
And great items from Terry as well, with Big Grab Bag, going to have the chance to itemize a lot of those key 5 costs once we see that transition into the Bastion line.
He's rolling on 6.
The roll down from YFTX. I think, like you mentioned, he's really missing that Darius, but...
I was really scared because I saw the on 6, but he's actually doing on 7. So on 7 is okay, but no Mals.
There's the first one. Finally, Malzahar also found the immediate pivot into the full 6 heavyweight comp alongside that Malzahar. So this is going to be a designated Malzahar reroll player. No double trouble, so should be uncontested outside of Lakoko's Zac 3.
Yeah, but like, you're poor now.
You are poor now.
How are you
I completely agree with you.
How are you going to get the Malzahar?
Let's have a duplicator at the very least, so that might help him out.
I'm just saying, this composition, because I've played a lot of it on ladder, is very expensive. And so you best hope that the crabs at the end of Stage 3 are going to give you enough gold that you can, you know, recover your economic failure.
The Rejuice is going to be a hopeful one we're going to see for YFTX. Ironbog, 9 win streak going through this Stage 3. We talked about Ironbog being a player that is more first or 8th, is more, you know, a huge, I think the #1 win rate player in the field. But for this very first game, I think the more traditional Ironbog style we saw in past TAC crowns, playing very high tempo early game into probably some really juicy 4-cost flex in Stage 4.
Yeah, this is the position that he loves to be in. He's almost full win streaking. The lobby in general is a little bit weaker. As I said that, Terry might be the one to break the other Hong Kong player's streak here. Already Samira 2 on the board. This has to be the strongest board in the lobby right now.
And we saw him go 8 because of the extra Scuttle Puddle resources on 3-5 and roll early for Samira 2 and for the Volibear. So really interesting game plan from Terry. I think this is the idea that we've seen from many players in EMEA as well, like Coco and Double, where you don't just try and go directly to Fast 9. You instead take a small break. You could roll on 8 for your 4-cost first, and then use these 4 costs to eventually make it to 9 on Stage 5 potentially, and recap your board at that point.
Yeah, I think Terry's perfectly set up for a 4-5 angle to go 9 here. He's most likely going to win the remainder of his rounds. We have seen a lot of low rolls across the lobby. YFTX going to 10 gold and only finding 2 copies between Darius and Malzahar. It's not really a good start. We also saw Bensack leaning heavily into Crystal, but not yet getting the Ashe. Oh, there it is.
Speaking of, Bensack's also going to get the Zyra unlocked pretty soon as well, so that's going to be something else to look forward to.
The big thing about his position is that he really wanted to natural the Ashe early and play the 5 crystals going into it. That's the kind of cap-out angle that you want, but since there was no natural copies, he didn't really get any of the crystal cash-out. So I think he has to pivot towards a lower cap composition, which is just 6 Juggernauts plus the 3 crystal.
Wow, well, that is a lot of gold, so...
The big concern is we're missing tank items here. Only a singular chain vest. We are seeing a TG slam potentially coming through. There's the Ashe 2 as well. Maybe Ashe 3 coming through, 4 copies already. And now just 2 more turns, we'll get Zyra online, and Bensack has to hope, I think, to win these next 2 rounds. He does not want to go down to 1 HP, especially not with someone like Terry really taking over the lobby potentially in stage 4.
Yeah, and this is a little bit rough of a roll down here. We're not seeing the star of the show, Lee Sin, missing, going all the way to 0 right here. I'm not sure he was able to fit in his 6 Juggernaut. Maybe Set was missing as well. And we're going to be taking a look at Robin's songs. Already 74 gold spent on rolls, but I believe this is only 6 Jannas. He's actually only 1 off, so not terrible, but 6 loss streak is not where you want to be if you're playing this 2-cost reroll line.
And it's also rough that you're on level 6. Like, everyone else is going to start to get to 9 very shortly in just a couple of rounds. And so how much can you actually keep up with that composition?
That's the big problem with reroll, with 2-cost reroll in particular. It doesn't cap as high, obviously. When everyone else is on a Scuttle Puddle lobby where they're going to have a lot of gold, they're going to be able to make 9. A lot of variance and a lot more potential comes in with prismatic augments at 4-2 as well. Robin, his goal was really to win streak all of stage 3 and preserve a lot of that HP and then maybe slowly bleed out to a 4th or a 5th that he is known for. Because he's lost so much HP early, he hasn't really accomplished that first goal. He might have a very hard time staying alive in this lobby coming to stage 4.
Yeah, he's also missing AP items, and he's 2-way contested on the Kabuko. Robin is going to struggle in this game. On the other hand, we might be taking a look at the 10-win streak Ironbog. I really wonder what he did find. Did lose his streak in the end, but if he has a high cap augment, it's very easy for him to kind of just pivot into a very strong win.
Wow, I think he picked that bronze for life.
Ooh.
So that's really
spicy.
cool with this comp.
And Ironbog was known, if I recall correctly, for his play with Trait Tracker in the past. Very similar skill set is being tested here with Bronze for Life.
He still has 89 HP, so I have to imagine this is most likely going to be a strategist Varus angle. It gives you the most traits to look forward to. And he doesn't mind putting in a stage 4 crystal here. Even though it was nerfed on 15.8, it still gives you a lot of cash out. I think that everyone is going to start looking forward to meeting Ironbog on stage 4.
And we're seeing Terry on the flip side. He will be the player to most likely win streak most of his stage 4. That being said, he has picked up Invested, so not exactly going for immediate combat power. I think he knows how strong he is right now. He's more banking on the next level, where he's going to cap on level 9 and going to have the gold to do so.
And I really want to see if YFTX hits the Invested or max cap. That's the only out I see for YFTX, considering how poor his rolls have really gone towards. He's already, 3 loss streak, 22 HP, lowest in the lobby. Can he find it?
See what he got from the Call to Chaos, though.
There'll be more combat for YFTX, so might just be a Malzahar 2 angle this game. Level
That's
7, 30
rough.
golds, no extra copies of Malzahar on the bench. In a normal lobby, you might think, hey, it's fine, I have maybe a whole stage of time to eventually get to Malzahar 3. That is not the case in Scuttle Puddle. Everyone's going to really turn on their engines coming to stage 5, and I think YFTX might be left behind.
I think you're right, and this might end up being an 8th place. By the way, I got confirmation YBY won from the Call to Chaos. They get 3 lucky item chests.
Not bad.
So
Yeah.
got some really nice tailored items now for his champions.
I think he's about to turn the corner. We saw the early Twisted Fate as well. That's always great to get as your first legendary on the board. And he is going into that Fast 9. Already hit the Fast 9. It's just about finding the 5-cost carries for him.
Seraphine's a big one. Has a TF already on the board, so going to have a chance to slot in the Seraphine for more of an AP carry.
Oh, and interesting that Robin Song is actually able to, overtake the HP lead in the lobby. So maybe doing a bit better than I imagined.
Hit the
Well,
Janna
he
3.
has the Janna
Yep.
now.
And
he
hit a
must only be like one copy off of the Koboko because he had quite a few on his bench.
And he hit a really good augment. Water Lotus for Robin, Water Lotus 2, the Prismatic Edition. Once you have Heavy as a Crown, which kind of acts as a scaling Archangels kind of item, it really fits well with the extra crit.
Very cool board to see come to fruition. As Bensex is also, I mean, this is kind of one of those comps that I feel like has really started to become more popular, but I think also being able to take Cloning Facility to put that Zyra 2 in the middle is so cool.
And Bensek also applying to Riot's marketing team with a 2x KO power-up picked up on the Volley Bear. Let's go, Bensek.
And this is the adaptation we've seen from a lot of players. If you don't hit the Lee Sin, you just want to play 4 Juggernauts plus the heavyweights into the composition here. It's not your standard Crystal line, but I think it's still very strong. For now, you're still getting a trickle of the Crystal cash outs just with 3.
So many plants.
And Bensek has accomplished his mission. We talked about it. He had to win those first 2 rounds until he got the Zyra 2. He gets the Zyra 2 now. That continues his win streak to 4, preserves all of HP, gets lucky by hitting Ironbog, who is the de facto lose streak player, with Crystal Gambit slotting in, trading his HP for extra resources in stage 4. So overall, good stabilization for Bensek on 37 HP. The big test will be, once everyone commits most of their goals on stage 5, who ends up coming out ahead?
Huge find for YBY. He drops another round, but finally gets all of his legendaries online here, both in the Twisted Fate and the Zyra. And they're both good power-ups here.
Do we see a Reforger on the Gambler's Blade now that he has rolled down to below 10 gold? That's the big question for me.
Wow. I don't know about that. I mean, it's okay.
It's still some base attack speed, not the best item. I guess maybe he doesn't want to risk it too much.
Maybe you just wait, and then you can reforge it. Always reforge it later. See what you also get out of the crabs.
Yep.
He didn't want the bonus bloom, and he actually hit the best one. Mana Rush coming in for Zyra, stacking up that attack speed multiple times. He should be very, very strong and well set up in the lobby right here.
The Coco going to go for a big level 9 roll down, taking the hit here for that extra greed in stage 4. Pretty much pre-leveled to level 9, going to have around 60. It's maybe more gold action scuttle puddle to roll with, so a lot of boards will completely transform once you get into stage 5, especially Ironbog and Lakoko.
But is it a problem that you already had 3 players hit level 9 and it's going to be Lakoko that's next to roll? Maybe there's less champions in the pool here for you to work with.
Lakoko rolling early for that reason, rolling on creeps, trying to make the transition a 2-turn transition, doesn't really trust the APM of doing everything in 1 turn, considering the complexity of the power-up system, considering how many more decisions you have to usually make when you're pivoting in set 15.
Heavyweight legendaries just isn't as strong of a line as the Bastions, because Bastions gives you extra stats in the first 10 seconds of combat. Seraphine hits a lot harder in that line. So I would say this is kind of, I didn't hit my Malzahar angle, I'm getting contested here, so I'm going to pivot to more of a B tier line. The big thing is, can he hit the Seraphine too? If he can still find that, then maybe there's a chance to stabilize. If not, things are looking very dicey.
Even the Lee Sin 2 with the heavyweight emblem could be an interesting addition to this board. We see the Cassante 2 hit already. I imagine we might see a transition of the items here from the Lee Sin onto the Cassante to make use of the extra HP. Still Seraphine 1, unfortunately for Lakoko. Ironbog also a huge roll down, a lot of decisions still to make for the APAC player.
Yep, and as we were talking about, Strategist Varus is going to be his go-to. That was the first composition that he won the TPC with. Very comfortable on that.
YFTX on his last life, 5 HP, facing Lakoko post-transition. Who's going to be stronger in this heavyweight mirror match? That's the big question here. Seraphine cast comes through. It's only Seraphine 1, but Mage is pretty nasty sometimes when it comes to the DPS.
Yeah.
It's very hard for Seraphine to deal with these bruisers like the Darius 3 right here. Double Bloodthirster. He's just not going down.
And the Lee Sin burst is not quite enough either. It looks like the drain tanking with double BT especially. YFTX staying alive, Lakoko maybe down to 1 life at 13 HP.
You know what's wild is YFTX had started to string a couple of wins together, but I think a lot of that really was off the back of that Darius 3. Still 1 copy away from the Malzahar. Feels so bad when everybody else is starting to hit those legendary boards, but if that AD is good enough, then
He did turn the corner. He's running triple combat, heavyweight, Malzahar 3 and Darius 3. So if there is a comeback story,
cutting it close. We'll see if it's enough. We talk about the Grim Reaper players, though. What if he faces someone like Robin Song on an 8-win streak? Is YFTX going to be able to stay alive, considering he's only down to 1 life, doesn't have that extra chance? Bensak versus YFTX. Elimination station now on 5-2. One of these two players will be going out once this fight concludes.
And it's really key to kind of look at what the rocket grab does go at. Sometimes you could get lucky grabs across the board. Doesn't look like that's the case. There's going to be a very fast hit onto Darius here. He's already being targeted.
Look at the Mundo.
Oh, the Mundo being on the Malzahar is not good. I think YFTX is out.
Whew. And a sigh of relief coming in from Bensak right there. That was not the position that you wanted the Darius to be in. You really want to be on same side with the Ashe right there.
Oh, Lakoko is also going to get eliminated in that last combat. So we've got 2 players going out here. Bensak still on 1 more life. And YBY1 pretty close behind him right now. These HP totals are getting quite close, though, when you take a look at Ironbog having only 20 HP as well in 3rd.
Maybe the pressure in this game 1 a little bit too heavy of a weight to bear for both Lakoko and YFTX. For Bensak, though, every fight he wins here, he gets stronger and stronger. Actually, no, it's only 3 Crystal Gram in this case. He's playing more for the Juggernaut line, but Bensak on 1 life, YBY1 also trying to turn the corner and stabilize on that fast line board.
It's Juggernaut on Juggernaut violence on the left side right here. Bensak fighting for his last life, but there is a 2-star Lee Sin that just crunches through the board.
Only
that
2
is
items.
The high hand. True.
But just not quite able to do it here. The chip damage coming in from the plant, and Bensak unfortunately also taken out here in stage 5 in that 6th place position. 5 players now remaining. All 3 players from APAC still alive here, Clement. And Robin, of course, consistent, fighting for that top 4, maybe fighting for a top 1 this game. He has really stayed up with the Janna reroll. That 8-win streak was so big coming into stage 5. We thought it was more of a stabilization in stage 3 to 4, but he actually managed to do it from stage 4 to 5, which is actually even harder with the 2-cost reroll.
Yeah, I actually messed up the cash out. So his first cash out wasn't like the double Nickel, it was the second stage one.
Okay.
So he actually was in a decent position. Just want to correct myself there.
Ooh.
Oh, wow. Ironbog, this board looks insane.
This is so cool.
Noxious Trap as well, getting all the utility thanks to the TF. You have a great itemization on the Varus. Braum is looking very, very scary in that front line as well, dealing with any of the Giga Tanks we have. Even, I mean, with so many resources, a 3-item Jarvan where you can maybe even guarantee a second cast, which is hard to make it to.
I have got to ask a question, though. Why is there Janna in the front?
Strategist for extra shielding. You don't really need her in the back, so you just want to send her there. The key thing for Ironbog in a lot of these fights is can the Braum actually find the Lee Sin and keep that character away from the Varus. If you can throw him into the back, that's more sniper damage. Like we're seeing right now, he's already onto the Lee Sin. Let's see where the toss goes, and he just executed him straight off the bat. So good positioning luck right there to give him the edge over Lau.
Lee Sin took down the Janna right away, and then, you know, a little bit of the HP on the Zyra, but the main carries not quite the angle for Lee Sin. So a big, big win for Ironbog there. Terry down to 1 HP, and a Dream trying to fight for the top 4 in the very first game to set the stage for the momentum these players have coming into game 2.
I think you're pretty happy if you can get a top 4 on this line. Bastion Edgelords is typically not considered on par with the other legendary lines. You are playing 4-cost carries, and of course Yone, which is also considered a 4-cost carry.
Terry's trying to go 10, 66 HP, or 66 gold on only 1 HP. Maybe waiting 1 more turn to make it to stage 6. Very greedy, very risky play from Terry, saying I'm playing either for 1st or 5th in this game 1.
But I think it's the right call to make, because if you think that comparatively to the rest of the lobby, you just might not be able to make it any further than that, I think is one different placement really going to be the make or break there. So I love being able to play a little bit risky. It looks like it's actually paying off here for Terry so far. I think he's going to be able to get the win.
He's going to get lucky over Lau, one of the easier matchups here in the field, and that gives him level 10. So that was a risk well worth taking.
And with Scarlet Portal especially, you're really going to make the most of being able to go 10 and find potentially another 2-star 5-cost a slot onto your board. Huge, huge play from Terry there, really paying off.
Wow, so expertly done. I love that we've gotten some really interesting things out of our first game here. You know, Terry being able to play super risky to go to level 10, YB by1, landing on a board that I think a lot of people would have written off as kind of one of those options to go for Fast 9. And then Robin Songs keeping up with the pack with this Janna mentor reroll.
I will say to our viewers, do not get used to a lobby like this. Scuttle Puddle had a huge influence in how capped out these boards look and how much relevance 5 costs in particular have. The 4 costs were only really a stepping stone to these fast line boards in the first place in this game. Terry also with Invested able to get so many extra rolls from being greedy, so just paying off dividends coming into stage 6. He still has a lot of gold to work with. Has to go fast here. APM check.
Does he find the level 10 and what did he put in? That's kind of the question right here on Terry's board. He's going to struggle a little bit against these other legendaries, and it's just going to be a Gwen. Okay.
Ooh, Silvermere Dawn, Lee Sin, going to be a scary thing to face, especially if Lee Sin gets an angle on the Samira here from Terry. Samira needs Challenger AI to stay out of danger throughout most of this fight. She is still alive, but has finally been taken down by the Lee Sin here. And I think it's too much to handle for Terry. YBY1 gets the better of him. Still a good top 4.
Yeah, I mean, it did preserve a placement. It's so sad, though, to see like 33 gold left in the bank and hadn't rolled for any additional upgrades. But now all of those champions back in the pool for all of our other players who have started to hoard that gold after that econ round, knowing that they were trying to contest Terry on some of these champions. But wow. I love the rewards coming through here from the Crystal
and
the
Insta-Soul.
Yeah, did not find the
It's just
Twisted
cool.
Fate 2. That was the one he was looking for. What an amazing game play by Robin Songs. 2-way contested on the Kabuko, hit his Janna a little bit late, and I love the way he solved the no AP problem. He didn't get any rods, but it was like, okay, I can take the crown, that gives me AP, and I'm also gonna find the crit from my combat augment on 4-2. This is, you know, I think a tremendous display of why Robin Songs is one of the GOATs, one of the top 4s from Americas.
And this is the game plan. It is going to be a crushing loss, but this is what Robin expected. His entire purpose was, I want to stabilize on stage 4 when I hit my Gen at 3. I have the perfect augment to do so with the Water Lotus to really make sure I can win against these players who are greeting out to go 9. And I go 3rd, and that's a good start to the tournament for Robin. Unk has still got it, but APAC has definitely got it, Clement. You have to be happy. The 2 big names coming from the APAC roster, YBY1 and Ironbog, are the victors in this group of death in the first game.
Ooh, this gives me deja vu. It was exactly these 2 players going head-to-head in the first TPC, going 1st and 2nd. And I have to say, historically, Ironbog actually has a very good matchup against YBY1. He kind of has the higher hand. Let's see if this level 10 board can kind of swing that.
Guys, I think it's just so cute. All the little poros following Ironbog around.
If you have enough poros, they actually form a heart.
Oh, I want to
Very
see it!
YBY1 might not think it is so cute considering the extra HP that Ironbog is getting, but very cool automation with YBY1's Lee Sin with the blue buff. The changes to Silvermere Dawn make it so you're not really getting that mana regen. The blue buff solves that problem.
Does the Lee Sin walk down? That's the big question right here.
Ferris is gone. 1 kick and he's just disappeared from the board.
But it doesn't matter. The rest of the board is too strong from Ironbog. What a good showing. You can take away Trade Tracker from Ironbog, but you can't take away Bronze for Life. Does win in the end with Strategist Varus, the same comp that he started off his TPC champion with.